Thank goodness that game went the way it did. That is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Carolina Hurricanes / Whalers. I'm going to make that joke. Today will be the last day I call them the Whalers because obviously now they're going to go back this weekend to wearing their traditional sweaters. Here's the storyline. Here's how it played out. Yesterday on the show, I didn't even think I realized it as it was happening, but we talked quite a bit about the Canes going into last night's game against Buffalo. And I realized that we were all in a very December 17th, children on December 17th mode. We just couldn't help but talk about the things we wanted. The toys we wanted on Christmas. As much as we tried to break down the Canes with results and or predictions, it turned into a lot of, man, I just want Mikko to score. Just turned into a lot of it's about time Taylor Hall gets his first as a Carolina Hurricane. Wouldn't it be nice if that Aho, Seth, Rantanen line put up 4 goals, 4 points. 4 goals would have been nice too, but 4 points. There was just a lot of man, I wish. Wouldn't it be nice if all those questions about why Mikko isn't performing since he came over to the Canes, isn't producing since he came over to the Canes, wouldn't it be nice to just rub a multi-point night, including at least a goal, in their face? There was, as much as we talked facts, we talked wishes. And then I'm watching the Canes game, in which, by the way, I'm just gonna admit some things. Right? I got some family in town. We have our newborn daughter. I didn't get to it right at the start. Missed a fight, missed a couple of goals. I'm 15 minutes late. What's going on here?
Yeah, if you weren't watching from the puck drop, you missed stuff.
Goodness gracious. Got to go back and figure out what happened because the Canes I've been watching, this isn't how it starts. It hasn't even been that risky to miss the first 15 minutes of a game up till this point, unless you're worried about missing goals from the other team. So then I'm watching the game and I'm going back and catching up on what I missed. And I started realizing, right, Staal scores. I'm I think we said on the show today it'd be nice if Staal scored. Aho scores. I'm I know we said on the show it'd be nice if Aho scored. Oh, and look at that. Rantanen gets a point. I know we start, and everything that we talked about just started check, check, check. And I think I may have actually said out loud, the only thing that hasn't happened yet is Jarvis hasn't scored. Sure enough, he makes a nice little hustle play, beats him to the empty netter, seals it for the Canes. Everything we were asking for happened. So can everyone relax for a minute? Can everybody just chill? They started a homestand with a dominant win. You get 2 more home games this weekend. You had Whalers night. The energy was high. It was a good day. Can you push back the intrusive thoughts jumping into your head for a minute? Just one off day, push back the thoughts of, Mikko Rantanen's going to be another Jake Gensel. He's going to show up. It's going to be a rental, and he's going to just take the sky is falling chicken little attitude out of here for 48 hours and enjoy a dominant victory where the roster played the way you hoped the roster would play, and your studs played like studs, your role players filled their roles, your captain did captain things, and everything beyond worked. Starting with Mikko Rantanen, 2 points, including the goal. After the game, he talked about how it felt not only to get that goal, but to get it on the power play and finally cash in.
It's been tough, we haven't really, we created some chances, I think last game Fisher hit the post, so it's been kind of close, but now this time it's posting in, which was good, I think after you get one, you get a little confidence, hopefully, and get more chemistry and more confidence.
Tone setters, right? You're looking for things that can sway the momentum. You heard him say, right? Hopefully you get one. Now they start coming, right? You get one power play goal. Hopefully next time it's a little easier. Next time it's a little easier. You catch that rhythm. Staal scored. Aho scored. Taylor Hall first goal, as we mentioned. Jarvis scored. Rantanen scored. There were some great defensive plays as usual, but there's one more person that deserves a shout out. One more person. That's Jesperi Kotkaniemi. and I've said this before, and hockey people have gotten mad at me. I don't like that the sport just includes the fighting thing. I think there's other ways to deal with stuff. But as long as it's part of the sport, you cannot deny the jolt it gives your team when you essentially knock a dude out. when not only there is a fight, but you are the aggressor. It's right from the opening puck drop, and you win the fight. You can't tell me that doesn't give your team a boost. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, after the fight, talking about what led to the fight. This is the audio.
Oh, I don't know. Just quick decision, I guess. I don't know. Just, I think we need a little energy there. I don't know. I rarely start the game, so I thought I might do something there. But, we got a little energy from that. Got a good start for the game, and, could get out win again.
I think it was more intentional than that.
We asked him a little bit further. I was like, okay, like when did you actually think about this? He goes, probably during the anthem.
During the
national anthem.
During the break, he said, I have the quote here written down. We haven't been home in a while. I just wanted to get the crowd going a little bit and get the boys in the mix right away.
It did.
Absolutely. I think the cool thing after a fight, it's like walking away without turning around in an explosion in a movie. The cool thing is to be like, I don't know, I just wanted to do. I think that was more intentional than that. I think he felt, and by the way, Kotkaniemi should feel, I need a way to contribute. I need a way to liven up this team. Maybe he hasn't been doing some things that he wants to be doing over the last however long, and he found a way and it worked. He found a way and it worked. And then you just start diving onto all the little things that you love, the intangibles. Do you know what I loved, and I didn't even realize after the game, right? Watching the post-game theatrics, Rantanen on one side, Slavin on the other, giving high fives as the team gets off the ice. It's such a small, such a seemingly minuscule image, but I saw it and I went, oh, that's good, right? That's Rantanen, something that he did in Colorado. Slavin, obviously, on the other side, as stable as it gets. It's just, okay, yeah, he's now working himself into the fabric. Is every game going to be like last night? Absolutely not. It would be outlandish to think it will. But a day off after that game can reset the engines a bit, and it's something we've been asking for a while for that team, is just a chance to reset the engines.
I posted yesterday during the game. It felt like Canes hockey yesterday. For the first time in a while, I actually felt like, the way they're playing, the energy in which they're on the ice, the way they're being direct with their style of play, it felt like a Canes game. First time in a while that we've watched them be like, there's Canes hockey.
The ideal version of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this, like the way that we have known them to be. And I actually asked Rod about it in the postgame. Like, you felt like you got back to it. Mm-hmm. Like your identity is like, like early on especially, felt like we were playing the way that we play.
We're going to break down a few things from Elliot Friedman's 32 Thoughts. He reveals these articles, these podcasts where he talks about things he's hearing in the NHL. Friedman, national hockey reporter. There was a line in it that we're not going to include with the other times we break it down. But I think it's a funny thing that may prove a turning point for the Canes. Talking about the loss to Montreal on Tuesday. This is what Friedman said. Tuesday's dreary loss in Montreal made me wonder if the situation hangs over the Hurricanes. But then I remembered they had 2 days off in Montreal. You can't even broadcast under those conditions. Basically hinting at like Montreal is a bachelor party destination. You know what I mean? That's Canadian Vegas. Like, hey, if you get 2 days off in Montreal, then you have to play a hockey game. You're playing dehydrated. Like you're tired. I'm only half kidding when I say this. 2 nights out in Montreal, or a night out in Montreal as a new team, can work its wonders, right? Where you can just get to know a player, where you have, like Hall and Rantanen and these guys trying to become part of the crew. It's hard to become part of the crew on practice ice. It's much easier to become part of the crew on a night out. I don't know if they did, but I know that like off seasons are often times where the relationships are built, and they don't get that luxury with the new guys. So maybe they tried to pack an entire off season into like 4 hours in downtown Montreal. If it happened, then I'm Again, only half kidding here. That may have impacted the way everything just seemed to be more cohesive in their next game. Maybe. Half kidding. Half kidding.